Good evening. My name is Ray Nazir,
And I'm Liza Jenke.
and in our news broadcast today, we're going to talk about Paper Tiger TV. What is Paper Tiger TV? Paper Tiger TV is a nonprofit volunteer video collective based out of New York City.
Collectives strive to break down hierarchy. There are no directors, no managers, and no bosses, so all decisions are made at meetings.
Paper Tiger TV has been around since 1981. Video art and public access television was becoming more and more popular, and Dee Halleck, who was one of the original founders, was looking for a combination of art, academics, politics, performance, and live TV.
Some people may ask, how does Dee cover news stories that other large agencies do not? Here is a short clip of Dee defending a family in Annapolis who had their constitutional rights violated by government officials.
People from Minneapolis, St. Paul, who were anti-war activists, at 7 o'clock in the morning were awoken by dozens of officials with guns who kicked them out of their own house.
Halleck famously said, "It is one thing to critique the mass media and rail against their abuses. It is quite another to create viable alternatives." She was looking to expose and challenge corporate control of the media.
Paper Tiger TV gives diverse perspectives in the process of making media to avoid bias or misrepresentation. It believes that the public should be using the media for a healthy democracy and equity. We spent a lot of time talking about alternative media and how Paper Tiger does what other companies don't, but here's a short video clip of Herb Schiller reading the New York Times to give you an example of what Paper Tiger TV actually does.
Let us examine what we have in this massive 712 pages, which would be, if put in a book form, a very heavy tome indeed. The first section, 88 pages or so, in two parts, it's difficult to find the news. 3/4 of the materials are advertisements, and the news, which we may get back to, doesn't add up to very much, considering that you have an entire world to cover. But
Paper Tiger TV exists to expose the mass media's injustices. It has been a successful alternative media source and inspiration in global media activism.
So, what does it accomplish? How does it meet its goals? What makes Paper Tiger TV different from all these other corporate sponsored news? And Paper Tiger TV is different from other activists because it highlights issues that are absent from mainstream information sources.
It analyzes media and educates about the communications industry. Paper Tiger TV provides short documentaries and programs to the public because it wants to increase awareness of how the media can be used to affect social change.
It provides community screenings and grassroots advocacy. Grassroots advocacy is a type of social political movement that originates among concerned citizens rather than being orchestrated by organizations or companies.
It therefore does documentaries, studio shows, and advocacy shows. How does it fit into the media activism landscape? How is it an example of media activism? Paper Tiger Television works to challenge and expose the corporate control of mainstream media. We have learned in class that media activism can be found in three main forms.
Right. Those forms are alternative media, structural, and cultural jamming. Alternative media is like setting up your own. Structural is similar to that of normal media, and cultural jamming uses the tools of the mass media against itself. The Yes Men are an example of this. As for Paper Tiger TV, it is a form of alternative media.
Paper Tiger TV believes in increasing public awareness of the negative influences of the mass media and getting people involved in making media. It is an example of media activism because it encourages the public to work against corporate media and focus on the stories that matter to them.
Paper Tiger Television successfully unites communities through their brilliant staff. Remember, their staff is volunteers. This is another reason Paper Tiger TV is an example of media activism, because being an activist is more than the job itself or how much it pays.
The volunteers do mostly production work. There are few part-time staff. There is only one part-time person who is responsible for managing administration operations and Paper Tiger TV distribution.
The New York State Department of Cultural Affairs and the New York State Council of the Arts sponsor Paper Tiger. These are just some of the examples why Paper Tiger TV is so successful in being an alternative media sources, having no corporate sponsors, and showing the news that people don't always want to see or know, but has to be shown. taking the other person's side and not worrying about sponsors and advertisements, but just worrying about getting the news out to the people. My name is Ray Nazir,
And I'm Liza Jinke.
and that's how the cookie crumbles.